Hey, folks, remember your mom and dad told you not to talk politics or religion? Well, I'm going to tell you, don't mix business with politics. It's like ammonia and bleach, a toxic chemical. It's like playing with fire. You eventually will get burned. Well, today I'm going to share with you how it can cost you big time, how you can be burned. I'm going to give you some cautionary tales, and we're going to dive into it now. Welcome to a random podcast where we challenge the status quo and we encourage people like you to think differently. We're diving into this topic. Yes, this controversial but necessary topic of politics and business, how it intersects. This is for all my entrepreneurs out there and all my career professionals. This one is most definitely for y'all. Now, let's explore by blending these two worlds how it can be a recipe for financial disaster. Let's explore a couple of ways that this can go into play. Perfect example is my pillow guy, Mike Lindell. We know the story, right? He went 10 toes in politics. Now, look, I'm not saying one side is better than the other. I'm not trying to pick on him because he's on this side and someone else is on that side. It has nothing to do with that. We're not talking about partisans here. We're not trying to take sides here. We're looking at prime examples of this visually happening. Okay. He made a choice to go 10 toes down because of his conviction. And guess what? I understand. That's honorable. That is something that, a lot of people aren't willing to do. But let's look at what it did. It did not necessarily come up with public outcry and protest and boycotting, but it was a silent boycott because his loyal customers started to shout back with no sales. They stopped buying the pillows. So you got to question yourself. Was half of my business blue and half of my business red? So maybe I shouldn't have said red or blue. Maybe I should have just kept it to myself and support behind the scenes. You never know what party, what belief structure any of your customers belong to. The only thing that he should have known, which any business should know, is that I need to cater to people who need pillows, whether they're Muslims, whether they're Jews, whether they're black, whether they're white, whether they're blue, or whether they're red. The only thing that matters is people who need pillows and needs comfort. This is the point I'm trying to drive home for you, entrepreneurs. It's not about politics. It's not about party. It's not about that. That's what I'm trying to emphasize. So you can get upset with me if you say, oh, you're picking on God because he was with the Republicans. I'm not picking on anybody. I'm using him as an example. Because the perfect opposite example of him was The Rock. They try to trap The Rock and asked him in an interview right before the WWE or whatever the wrestling that he was involved in. Would he endorse Joe Biden? And he slipped that very well and said that he thinks this country needs to come together and his entering things like that would just be divisive. He slid out of it. He kept his private. There's a reason why the voting booth has one person, space for one person, and it's private. It's your own personal business.
Influence. I'm gonna keep my politics to myself, and I think it's between me and the ballot box.
So back to my pillow, back to this example. It hurt his business. Now his business is bankrupt. Now that's not the end of the story because that's just the surface of what happens when you mix business and politics. What else did it affect? Think about it. It affected his employees, his fellow dream chasers, the people who joined him in helping his dreams come true. This man worked hard. I know he did. He's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He grinded. He sacrificed. And he brought these employees into his organization and they worked day and night. And they relied on this company to provide for their family, to feed their family, to take care of their family. And by him making a unilateral decision to wake up with his convictions and to support his agenda that he wanted to support, sacrificed everyone in the company. even those who might not have believed with him and those who did. This is what's problematic when it comes to starting your own company in leadership. It's not about you, it's about your people, it's about the unit. Not only did he hurt his customers by alienating a great portion of them, but he also alienated and hurt some of his employees in two ways. One, now they're shut down. Now they don't have jobs. They thought they had financial security. He gambled that by betting his personal beliefs with the company's brand on the line. And let's say that he didn't get financially ruined, right? Let's say that it worked out for him. Well, would have worked out for his employees. Think about this. When you have leadership stand behind publicly behind someone else's agenda that maybe conflicts with yours and you're plugged into that organization, now you feel like a foreigner in a foreign land with no friends because you feel like an outsider. You feel marginalized because you don't believe the same thing they believe. Something's wrong with you, right? And it creates divisiveness inside of the organization. That's why this is a major concern when you try to mix business and politics. You have a fiduciary duty to your employees to make sure that they are taken care of as a unit. And you cannot try to risk or gamble the company and its brand based on your own convictions and your own beliefs. Let's go a little bit further than that. We're going to talk about how also affects your investments and your investors. So you have people who invested money into you for your dream and for your goals. And now you're going to go ahead and gamble their investment dollars as well. But also, further than that, you are going to scare off potential investors because of this turmoil. Investors care about only two things: the financial health of a company and its potential of growth. They're not there to be caught up in crazy controversy about things that doesn't relate to the dollar bill. Again, what color is your money? What color is the money of the investor? The color of the money is green. That's the only thing that matters. They only care about stability and predictability as investors, not volatility. So mixing business and politics isn't good business at all. Now, what's the takeaways? If you do this, it's gambling. You're gambling your reputation. You're gambling your money. You're gambling your people's good fortune. The best thing to do in this world of business is to be neutral. Neutrality is the key. It's the safest path. That doesn't mean that you don't believe what you believe. That don't mean that you don't have the convictions you have. It don't mean that you're not involved in helping pushing this particular agenda that you have. But it's not always meant for everybody to know. So as a business owner, as a career professional, you don't got to go spreading what you're doing in your private world to push your private agenda. But when you're with your unit, you have to work with your unit. And that's what I was going to say here. As a leader of your company, as an entrepreneur, you should be looking at ways to unite your employees, unite your customers. Focus on your core product and how you can make people better and bring them together. So Mr. Lindell could have did this with the pillows. I mean, I would have known no different one way or the other. I would. I mean, heck, you got places that you patronize now that you know no difference. You don't know if Coke. You don't know if particular movie chain. You have no idea. You still give them your business because they're smart enough to keep it quiet. Now, if you felt like any of this was insightful, or if you feel like there's ways that you can balance it out, and you want to kind of convey that and voice it to me and voice it to our community, do so in the comments. If you feel like I'm crazy and wacky, I don't know what I'm talking about, voice that in the comments. But also, I want you to like and I want you to subscribe if you want to hear more interesting takes like this. This is your boy J.I. Random Podcast. I'll see you on the other side.